we have seen in the past that sometime you have not availed the credit in your 3B within the time-bound manner as per section 16 subsection 4. And to tell my viewers, there is provision in GST law that you must avail your credit by the time defined under section 16 subsection 4. What is that time? Earliest of due date. Due date of furnishing return under section 39, which is GSTR 3B, for the month of September following the end of relevant financial year. Or due date of furnishing annual return, whichever is earlier. Let's say for 1920, let's assume for understanding sake to my all viewers, for financial year 1920, due date for filing 3B for the month of September 20 would be 20th October 2020. Am I right? And due date for filing annual return is normally 31st December. But you have to keep to your mind, for some reason, you could not avail credit by this time defined. Then what happened? Your credit is lost, lapsed. Believe me, number of so-called notices pan-India. And constitutional validity was challenged in different high court. In Patna High Court, Govindakant section, in AP High Court, Thirumalakonda Plywood, Calcutta High Court, BBA Infrastructure, Chhattisgarh High Court, Jain Brothers, all judgments are against us. They have said it is constitutionally valid, meaning thereby you lost. We have filed the SLP in the Supreme Court, Sureshji. When Patna High Court decided against, Honorable Supreme Court has issued the notice to the revenue and they were supposed to file counter. Alongside, we filed the representation also to GST Council. What we have conveyed to them, we have said it was initial years, there was certain non-compliances. And you will agree with me, Sureshji, sometime we are not in a position to file 3B for the reason we are not having working capital. Ultimately, you have to pay the taxes, right? GST is on accrual basis. But if you have not collected any amount from your client or customer, then you need to pay from your pocket. If you are not having enough working capital, you are not in a position to file 3B. And thereby there is delay. And if delay, then they are saying it is time limit, your credit got lapsed. Listen very carefully. All practicing company secretary, including those who are employed in a company. If your credit is lapsed for 4 initial financial year, 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, and 20-21, they are saying you will get the credit. Only condition, you must have availed through GSTR 3B, and that too by 30th November 21. Sureshji, again I am repeating. For initial 4 financial year, even for 17-18, if you have availed by 30th November 21, in 3B, you will get the credit. 17-18, 18-19, 19-20, and 20-21. You will get the credit.
It is big relief for industry, sir.
Big relief. So now here one more point which is coming to my mind, and those who are doing GST practice, they would be asking, Bimal Ji, I have not availed the credit in 3B, but I have availed the credit in 9 and 9C. 9 GST and 9 is annual return. And 9C is a self-certified reconciliation statement. There may be a possibility, or there may be a possibility I have not shown in 9 and 9C, but I have availed in books of accounts. What to be done? As per law, they are saying you must have availed in 3B. Then only you will get the relief. But I'm giving you food for thought. Food for thought. Subject to litigation. I can always argue, even I can argue today, that 3B is not only the return where credit need to be availed. There is another credit document which is called GSTR2, which was coexisting. I'm saying coexisting along with 3B until 1st October 2022. I can always argue in the court of law and say, Lordship, it is not only 3B, GSTR2 is the credit document, but this was never introduced and implemented since July 1, 2017. Yani GSTR2 was the document where I should avail the credit, but never got introduced. I can always argue doctrine of impossibility. So you can't block my credit just on the basis of 3B. And there are judgment. I'm not saying there are judgment from Madras High Court, Kevin HP Gas, Shanmuga Hardware Electricals. There are judgment, and this will help litigation. So section 16, subsection 5 got inserted. So this is the first. And second, I hope this part is clear, Sureshji.
Yes, sir. But today, if you need to take the benefit of this provision, your 3B should be there.
Yeah. And for litigation also, I support it.
Yes.
In case you have not availed in 3B, what is the recourse available to you?
But you can try. Yes.
Now, next situation, Sureshji, very interesting. Let's say you are GST registered, Sureshji, and your registration is cancelled by the department for either or region. Your registration is cancelled. If your registration is cancelled, then you can't file your GST return. So if you can't file your GST return, there may be a situation, since you could not file your GST return, this time period to avail credit got lapsed. Possibility, right? That your registration got cancelled, you could not submit and file your return, and thereby this time limit which is being prescribed under section 16, subsection 4 got lapsed. What you would be doing? There's no fault of you. It was only cancellation, and cancellation happening for many regions. That is the reason I said there may not be fault on your part, and your registration got cancelled, and thereby you could not submit your 3B, your credit got lapsed. What to be done? Section 16, subsection 6. Please, all the viewers, please take a note of it. It is really good, laudable change. They are saying in all such cases, you would be allowed as a cancelled dealer to file your GST return within 30 days from the revocation order. So once revocation order is being passed for your cancellation, you must submit all your return within 30 days for the period from cancellation till revocation. So even though it is lapsed your time, but still if you file within 30 days from the revocation order, for the period cancellation till revocation, you will get the credit. I hope this part is again clear to all the viewers.
Much clear, very much clear.
Perfect. So
30 days time is there.
30 days time is there. Coming back to the next change. Next change is very interesting, and this I'm giving you opinion. Those who are CS practicing or company, they have faced the challenge. And I'm starting with, let's say, Sureshji, you're a director of a company. And you are my director, ABC Limited. You are my director. You're not registered in GST, right? You're not registered. When you're giving services to ABC Limited in the capacity of director and attending meeting and everything, I'm giving you, fees accordingly. That is subject to RCM, reverse charge. Hope it is known to all my viewers. It's subject to reverse charge. Who will pay GST? Company will pay. Sureshji will not pay anything. Sureshji is a supplier. Sureshji is neither registered nor he will charge GST. It is company who need to pay.
It is also applicable in the case of advocates also.
I'm coming back. Sureshji, I'm coming back. Why I started director example? I was trying to connect with my legal and secretarial professionals. That is the reason I was connecting them. It is not only for director, I'm telling you, it is for any notified goods or services subject to reverse charge procured from unregistered supplier. So advocate example, which is being picked up by Sureshji, the right example. So advocate giving services to the company, advocate is not registered. Company, business entity need to pay GST under reverse charge. So he rightly picked up. So it is not only for director, but I was trying to create analogy to my all viewers that you must understand. But what is the point which I wanted to draw? Let's say, Sureshji, you given services on 1st January 2020. And listen very carefully. 1st January or advocate given services on 1st January 2020 pertaining to financial year 1920. Now today on 28th of July 2024, we realized as a company, we have not paid any amount to Sureshji, either director or advocate. We have not paid any amount. Question will come in our mind whether RCM is applicable in the hands of company because we have not paid any amount. First question. Let me tell you and to all the viewers, RCM is applicable irrespective of fact whether I have paid the amount to you or not. So please be careful. There is a time of supply provision under section 13 subsection 3, which is clearly saying that we need to pay GST under reverse charge, irrespective of fact you paid or not paid. Of course, you can determine time of supply. Now, having said that, question will come 1st January 2020, when I'm realizing today on 28 July 24, can I pay now and claim credit? And if I pay RCM of 2020 now, whether interest is leviable. So these are the questions, right? There is change in budget, section 13, subsection 3. Red bit, section 31, subsection 3, clause F. It is clearly saying whenever I'm procuring from unregistered supplier, director or advocate, being a company, I need to raise self-invoice. ABC Limited need to raise the self-invoice, which I would be raising today's date, 28 July 2024. I should have raised on 1st January 2020, which I didn't do. I forgot. I'm raising today. So there would be violation that I did not raise the invoice on time. So there would be penalty for that. Under section 122, subsection 3, clause E, 50,000 rupees is the penalty. I would be more than willing to pay 50,000. I would be only looking for, if I pay RCM today, can I take credit? Because 1920 time period is gone. Circular number 211, dated 26 June 2024. Suresh Bhai, self-invoice generated today's date would be the eligible document for availing credit. And when today's date, then 24-25 financial year would be the relevant for determining time limit under section 16, subsection 4. So you will get the credit. You will get the credit. With the interest leviable, of course, interest leviable. It should have been 1st January 2020. Interest from that date. So RCM always paid through e-cash ledger. You can't use your credit ledger. Aapko cash mein, you have to pay in cash. And even interest, which is chargeable from that date, you have to pay in cash, and interest rate is 18% per annum. 18% per annum. So all such RCM liability under section 9 subsection 3 or section 9 subsection 4 for reverse charge liability from unregistered supplier, you will get the credit. Interest leviable. Self-invoice is your eligible document. subject to payment of taxes as per Rule 36(1)(b). So Suresh ji, you will get the credit. So you can always check, go back to such transaction where you missed. You can always take credit. But had it been from a registered supplier like GTA who is registered and GTA providing services to the company, reverse charge, GTA will not charge unless he is under forward charge. Then in that case, you will not get the credit because his invoice would be the eligible document. And he must have raised the invoice on 1st January 2020. Then from registered supplier, this provision is not applicable.